calling it now,
the Centrifugal, yeah. So we're here with Dan Mecca at Manhattan College. Dan and I have been working with making a new throw shoe, but with an old flavor to it, I guess. So Dan, we got the VS Centrifugal. So Dan, can you tell us a little bit about the shoe and what makes it such a great throw shoe?
The shoe is modeled after one of the original throwing shoes from when I first started coaching collegiate athletes in 1980. It was a great rotational shoe. It's the same type of shoe that Yuri Sedek, Sergei Lipanov, some of the top rotation shot putters and discus throwers were using at that time in the early 1980s. We decided to model it in that way because it was a great shoe for them to spin, had great traction without being slow. And this bottom on the shoe is well rounded. It's a type of shoe where you can turn on wet conditions, on dry conditions, and yet you're not going to feel slow at all. You're going to get a better feel for the surface. And already with the throwers that I've had use this, hammer throwers, shot putters, discus throwers, they all love the feeling of the shoe on a circle. It's been a tremendous effort already for them, and every one of them have told me it's a much lighter shoe and it works much better for them when they're turning, whether on a wood or a concrete circle.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the bottom of the shoe. See if we can get a close-up in here and see a little bit of how the light. You got a good texture on it. So I can get the right with the lighting here. So there's a right here. Yeah, there we go.
And so you could see that the sole is more rounded, and even though it looks textured, after a couple of weeks of training, that flattens out a little bit where it's much smoother, but you still get a great feel for the circle, and you're still able to get some good traction on it.
Yeah, let's roll it around to the edge so we can see how the edge is.
You can see from the heel to the midsole to the toe, it's rounded all the way through, and that's exactly what we were looking to do.
And then I noticed, give it a little flex there, show how flexible, because there's no plate in the shoe.
No, and that makes it so much easier when an athlete, whether you're a right-handed or left-handed athlete, when you're turning for, whether it's a hammer or disc or shot again, when you have to roll from your heel to your toe, and you're going through that transition from the back of the circle to the front of the circle, it makes it much easier for them to turn, and it gives you the flexion you need. And I say, you get a great feel for the circle, where some of the other shoes with a much thicker sole, you don't get that feel for the circle. You don't feel that traction in the circle. You feel like you're more on ice. Where here you can feel you can get a good rotation without feeling slow at all.
Yeah, and the upper, so we've done just a synthetic leather upper, which it helps that the shoe get support and lightweight. And one of the other things we added on a midfoot strap. That's what some of the other shoes in the 80s did not have a midfoot strap.
Right, and that's a big difference. That midfoot strap does keep it much tighter around the sole or around the midsole. As you're turning, it's great because this way, as you're turning with this strap, you get that kind of support where you don't feel the shoe is loose, but yet you have that support going through.
All right, so we got the shoe in two different colors. We got the white and green, kind of like the Jaspers of Manhattan College.
Which is our favorite, of course.
Yeah. Whoops. And we also have a black and silver model too. So yeah, we appreciate Dan. Dan's really put a lot of work into this. We've kind of worked on it together, and I appreciate all the stuff that Dan has done with us. Thank you, Dan.
Oh, it's been great working with you, Billy, and with VS Athletics, and to develop a shoe like this for our throwers.
All right.